What's up? What's up? This Fred Ward checking in with another episode of Count Time Now. You know, I got having up some brothers with me today. I'm gonna just take a minute and let them introduce themselves, because I don't know what kind of, pronouns or whatever, how they want to introduce themselves. I'm gonna let them do it on their own. So we're gonna start over here with my man. You know what I'm saying? Let them know what city you from, how you wanna be, introduced as. And if you did any time, let them know like how much time you done did inside that belly.
Oh, man. It's Jay-Zell from the Mount Pleasant Ward. And been doing time since the early 90s.
Okay.
Came home 2007.
Welcome on. And still here.
For sure.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Lamont Clark. I don't have no area I'm from. I'm from everywhere.
Yeah.
But I did 23 years, wrongfully convicted.
Yep.
Back on deck in 2016 after finding evidence that the prosecutor withheld. And I've been in the trenches ever since, trying to figure it out,
Yeah, honored to have it. Who we got on this side over here?
Man, you got Billiam, you know what I mean, a.k.a. Chopper Jr. Yeah, I did 63 months in the federal penitentiary, and I'm from all over, man, all over Cleveland. I am the city.
All right, pass that mic to my brother.
Donovan Harris, Akron, Ohio. Been home 23 years after doing 13. It'll be 23 next month on the 15th. November 15th will make 23 years of freedom. Yeah.
All right. I see you ready to go. You ready to kick it.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, so like this particular episode is to my other brothers and sisters that's out here that, unfortunately caught a felony conviction, and we about to talk to our network. So I want to start this podcast off, right, with an incident that happened yesterday with one of my brothers, Billiam. So we sitting in the podcast, and we had a particular council person in here that happened to be in the same city that one of Billiam close friends, who's also directly impacted, stayed in. They got a business, he got a trucking company, and Billiam was telling the councilman that, he had a couple of his trucks parked out on his own lot, and the city came and towed his trucks, right? And so the councilman, he know that me and Billiam, we rock lockstep. So, just naturally he gonna respond, because that's how we build relationships, Mm-hmm. So the councilman started talking about, did they give you a 3-day notice? These are some of the, he started quoting citations and all that, and he like, man, tell him to call this person. I said, hold on. I stopped him. He was about to push his button, Donovan. He was about to push his button and get that number up, right? I said, hold on. I say, because our motto is you help us build power, we share power, right, D? And so I said, man, this dude sitting up here with our relationship with this council person, and he about to benefit, right? Even though he a good dude, don't get me wrong, he about to benefit. I need to know if he registered to vote. Because, this is a good councilman, and when this councilman run up for election like so many other political positions that open up, I want to know if this dude can bear witness, right, through his vote, that, man, I'm supporting you and I want to keep you in power because you good for the people. So I tell Billiam, I say, man, call dude and see if he vote. And what happened?
When I called him and I asked him, did he vote? He said no. And it was like...
No, get a whole demo up. He put it on his mama.
No, yeah, okay. So I called him, I asked him, did he vote? He said no. He said, my mama do. Because they stayed they've been over there on that street for about 20 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he was like, my mama vote, but I don't.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But he was the one calling asking for the help.
Mm-hmm. So that led me, right? I had an instinct that this dude might not vote, even though he's a good dude and he in business and he need a relationship with city government, he don't participate. And so just with that, right? And we gonna get dude, we still gotta sit down with dude.
Yeah, we definitely do.
We gotta sit down with this joker, you know what I'm saying? Because like, even though the period to, register for this coming election is passed, we need to, and we don't want to be transactional. I'm gonna give him all the reasons why I vote and why my team say they vote as a strategy, even though our ancestors died for the right. I'm talking about strategy, pure strategy on how we get the right people in representation, right? So that we can have a better society. Right. So we're gonna have that conversation. I ain't gonna just be like, no, dude, you gonna vote if you. No. I'm gonna win him over through his own reason and self-interest of why he want to do good business and he don't want people in power, just taking advantage of citizens and touring their cars and not following the law, right? But I want to open the floor up. And I want to talk to us, right? This is an intimate space. I want to talk to us because, man, we got a lot of brothers and sisters that just don't vote. We just talked to a dude, Billiam, just came home. I said, man, when you came home, did you think like, man, I got to go vote? And he was like, what?
It was the furthest thing from his mind. He's trying to get himself situated, trying to get housing, trying to get jobs and all that. He wasn't even thinking about
I'm going to let you come give it to him.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, with no further ado.
Oh, he's right here.
Yeah. With no further ado.
Road, man,
That's solid. Yeah. That's solid. We're gonna bring you back in though, but you know what I'm saying? Like this organic, man. We ain't got no cue cards. So why don't you introduce yourself? Welcome home first, right? Can we welcome him home? Welcome home, my brother. You know what I'm saying?
My name is Carl Washington. I'm from Warren, Ohio. I did 7 years in the state, 2.5 in the feds, federal penitentiary.
Okay.
Like he was saying, they asked me if I was registered to vote or thought about it. And when you in jail, they tell you, like, for real, you can't vote.
Lie.
And then they tell you they don't even give you information about that you can vote or that you can go out of state or you can do this, you can do that. They just tell you, when you get out, go holler at your parole officer.
Mm-hmm. We got to fix that.
So when I got out, my first thing was, man, I got to get a job. I got to get somewhere to stay. I got to find some clothes. I got to just take care of myself as a man.
Yeah.
So voting or paying attention to community really ain't on my mind because I'm like, that's not going to help me eat. That's not going to help me have nothing over my head. So, but more and more that I talk to brothers like Fred and Billiam, and I get knowledge that they not going to give you in there. So I registered to vote right after, like 10 minutes ago.
Who registered to vote? We going to get flowers when they do.
Donovan over there.
Donovan. Yeah, my man.
Registered to vote because it made sense. Why I'm going to ask for help from somebody, but I'm not trying to help them stay in power. So it just made more sense to me.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that, man. It's big. It don't get no, and he represent thousands and thousands of other brothers and sisters that coming home, survival crisis needs, same shit. Mom, what about you now? Man, I was in the joint with you. I had the honor of being in there having you whoop my ass on that chessboard. I don't know if you know, but he's ruthless. He's ruthless on the chess side. I quit playing him because he just, he act like it ain't nothing, man. So for anybody out there think they chess masters, either beware or come get with him. Because I'm telling you, he gameful with it. But mine, 23 years wrongfully convicted, man, right? And I did 10 with you. You know what I'm saying? And one thing I can testify to, that for the whole 10 years, you was like, man, I ain't do this. Man, I'm telling you, man, this is wrong. And I liked you, but I was like, man.
I was in the trenches, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You stayed in the trenches.
I was in the trenches.
And you ain't never folded.
Just because I was in the trenches, a lot of people say, man, you think Mom really didn't do it, man. That nigga was doing everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I said, I really didn't do this, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's up right as I walked. I ain't broke no rules. I ain't snitched. I ain't mentioned no homosexuals. I ain't did nothing against the game.
Yeah.
Played it how it's supposed to go. That my integrity was in question because the white man said I did it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Your integrity wasn't never in question with me.
But I'm saying with people in there, you really think he didn't do it.
Right.
You really think he didn't do all the stuff he been into?
Yeah.
And here I am standing here telling you, man, look here. If I did it, I'll say it.
That's a lot.
You know
That's a lot, too. Because I ain't never really been not guilty. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been, like, guilty. You know what I'm saying? But to just think, like, to be sentenced, man, and, man, and didn't do it.
Right.
Fred, I couldn't understand it.
Man.
I got down there with him,
Yeah.
and I get up in the cell, and we become cellies.
Yeah.
We knew each other before we
Right.
got there. So
Yeah.
we in there, and I'm talking about, man, he had got the transcripts in.
Yeah.
They came in. So he broke them out. So I'm sitting on the bunk. I'm sitting there looking at him and checking out everything. But he already, I already know he ain't doing it.
Yeah.
'Cause I knew Tanya.
Yeah.
And I knew him.
Ain't no
I knew
mission.
their relationship.
Yeah, solid.
So I'm just like, I'm looking at everything. I said, damn. I said, man, this is real ill and crooked how these folks did you, man. They got you in here doing this time, man, and you don't know when you going home.
Yeah.
Oh, man, it hurt it.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
hurt it
yeah,
for me
no,
to be
that's
there,
real.
be in there and be looking
Yeah.
at it, and knowing
Yeah.
like, damn, my nigga. I say, when my day do come,
Yeah.
I got to say bye to him, though. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? I don't
Yeah.
know when he come home, if he gonna
Yeah.
come home. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was ill, man.
Yeah. No, hey man, I tell you, like, I ain't never trying to go back to jail, God forbid. But my experience in there, man, was life changing for me, man. The relationships I built in there, you know what I'm saying? No homo, and just like building solid relationship with brother. I met Donovan inside the joint. You know what I'm saying? And like, them be lasting relationships, man. They either last relationship, you don't want to never see them again in your life. It ain't really no middle ground, is it?
Right.
It's like either, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It ain't no
What you
really
mean?
doing, But like, yeah, man. So, like, voting for you, like, now I knew your mom.
Right.
Like, straight prayer warrior, OG, boss, ain't going for nothing but what's right.
Right.
Now, we never asked this, but I just automatically assume she vote.
Oh yeah.
I
she
automatically,
vote.
because she just always was like
she
on the
vote.
right side of stuff,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
But what
she
about
vote.
you, though?
Yeah, I vote.
You did?
Yeah, I
She was
vote.
an influence on you doing
Yeah,
that?
well, no. When I came home, you know what I'm saying, I think it was more so my wife pushing me to go, man, you got to go sign on the vote. I'm like, man, I don't want to vote for none of them crooks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She like, so you not going to vote?
Yeah.
That's terrible. You know what I'm saying? These same people you talk about, you know what I'm saying, if you vote, maybe you can get them out of there. I said, man, I ain't studying that. So the first year I ain't vote. The second year she took me straight up there and said, like, you signing up to vote.
On your heels.
And I signed up to vote. But I really, from doing all the studying, because, G gave me the first book when I went to jail. I'll never forget it. I seen him on the yard, and I was talking to these guys.
I was giving them books away.
You know what I'm saying? And all these dudes were talking. I'm like, I said, man, who was that? They're like, that's your boy Fred. I said, damn, he huge. Shit. They're like, wow, he can't wait. So when you get through hollering, come holler. So we talking, you know what I'm saying? Then he gave me a book. I said, Fred, what's this? He like, you gotta change your way of thinking, man. I said, Fred, I'm innocent, man. I don't belong here, man. I'm just trying to get back out. I don't read no books, man. My blueprint is the streets. You know what I'm saying? Getting that money. I was doing good before I left the streets. You know what I'm saying? So I own property. I'm young. Got my first house in high school. So
you got it all.
Like I don't need none of that, man. He like, man, but when you get back out there, you gotta change your way of thinking. I'm like, Fred, nah. And then as the day go by, time go by, I'm reading these. He gave me to start reading. Now I'm intrigued by this stuff because now I'm seeing a direct correlation of what they did to me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm innocent. And these politicians, and I'm reading stuff about crime bosses, how they connected to the politicians. I'm like, man, now I'm intrigued by all this stuff. Now I can't stop reading. They come to the spot one day, we got so much food in there, we got so many books in there, they're like, what are you gonna do? Throw the food away, man.
I know that's we need
Don't
these
touch
books.
these
Hey,
books, man.
Hey, Fred, and that's real talk because he put it on me. After what you put on him,
Yeah,
this how he put on me.
Yeah,
So
for
it's
real,
like
man.
he ain't wasn't letting them nothing happen in the books.
Man, for
Each
real.
one teach one, man.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah, for sure.
Did I see that picture of your son? I got a picture of 2013. Your son, he got a book, you understand, The Miseducation of the Negro. You ain't see it? I got it.
You gotta send
That's
me that.
education, Carter G. Wilson.
Grab my phone on that table in there, man.
Carter G.
Speaking
Wilson.
of that, right? My son, he just come home from doing 5 years in the feds.
Yep.
And when he got home, and I took him next door to the center, he was looking at the Tree of Knowledge. We got a Tree of Knowledge over there with all type of books over there. He said, man, Uncle Fred, he gave me this book in 2013, man, and I looked at him and I shunned him off. He said, man,
That's crazy.
man, that was the stupidest shit I could have ever did, man. He's a reader now. He's
Hey,
definitely
man.
a reader now, man.
And I was trying to get, well, look at this, man. This Will's son.
Yeah,
That's Will's son. And I showed that to Ferg. Ferg like, man, he was small.
Yeah.
'Cause, he
Wow.
big. Look at that.
Yeah.
I see it.
And that's cause me and Ferg, we was talking, right?
That's a cold
and,
book, too.
And you know, that I'm talking about Dante Ferguson, one of the founders of the Heartless Felons that changed his life around. He was like, Fred, we gotta get to him young.
That was back then when you get in the book?
Man,
Yeah,
this
back
was
then, I was
look
like,
at him.
shit.
I see him.
This little youngster
teenager.
Yeah, I
just
was
not
looking,
coming
I
out the
see.
Fed, but he at the center. This is the center for he had any type of perks. Look at that. Ain't that your boy?
Man, that's crazy.
Look at that. Look at that. That's his son. And I'm like, and so for me, it was like I was listening to Dante talk about, man, we got to get them young for
Got
the
to.
trauma, for they get too much trauma in their life, right? And then that come on my feed,
And you know
and
how
I'm
young
like,
we gotta
Wow,
start now?
it can hear it.
we got to start, man.
At 7.
Listen,
That's the AI,
I
that's
was,
that technology you're hearing you talk about it, and it
I was
popped
with one
up.
of my buddies the other day, and they was getting some electric. They got an electric car. They was putting the electric gas in there or whatever, putting electric in there.
Yeah.
So little girls knock on the window like, "Excuse me, we ain't got nothing to eat. We hungry." Damn. So I said, "Oh, yeah." I said, "Where y'all live at?" "We in a homeless shelter." I said, "Oh, yeah."
How old?
I said,
A little girl?
I said, "So how old are you, 11? I said, "So when are y'all supposed to be back at 9? I said, "It's a homeless shelter, let y'all be back in at 9 or 11? "Yeah." I said, "They ain't got food in there?" "No."
That's that.
I sat back, right? So my dude was like, "Man, y'all ain't got nothing to eat like that." He pulled his pocket and pulled $20. I was like, "Go get y'all something to eat." So I'm watching them walk off. They hugging each other, laughing. 2 girls walk away. Then they come back because he didn't pull. He was just waiting on the charging station. Now he done pulled up, so they knock on the window. When they come back, "Hey," I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry." I said, "Oh, y'all
They run a
already hustled
gang?
us, huh?" What? We ain't hustling nobody. We hungry. I said, "Yeah, Trump cut the stamps and we ain't got no
They said
food."
that. Man, how old was it?
11 years old, right?
Hey,
I
11
said,
and they
wow.
went there
I
with
said,
it?
"Come here." I said, "Listen, my man just gave y'all $20 of his hard-earned money. I knew y'all was full of game when y'all pulled up. I said, I got a pocket full of money, but I wasn't gonna give y'all none of my big bills because I knew y'all was dragging." "What's dragging?" I said, "What y'all doing now?" So I was like, laughing, trying to hold her laugh in. I said, "So what is homeless shelter at?" "Down there." I said, "Well, y'all hungry. That's what I'm gonna take y'all and get y'all something to eat." "Oh, we already,
They don't want that. They want that money.
We ain't in a homeless shelter. We lying." And
How did it work together?
I said, "Y'all 11 years old." I said, "If y'all working like this at 11 years old, I'm scared to see y'all when y'all turn 18.
Man,
Like,
they was putting it down like
they
that.
was putting it down. They come with laughter. I said, "So where your mother dead?" "My mother ain't dead." "Stop lying." "Okay, listen, this the truth. We dropped the $20 you gave us." Then she's like, "Nah." "Okay, we ain't dropped. The man took it inside the store." I said, "Y'all just gonna keep going with this, huh?" I said, "But the moral of that is these little kids out working. You know what I'm saying? At a young age.
Yeah.
11 years old, they getting their lives together just trying to manipulate people.
So imagine if they put that energy at 11 towards something positive.
Something positive.
Where they'll be at when they 18.
On the Cosby Show.
Come on, man.
Exactly.
They need to be in movies or something,
Yeah,
doing
because they,
something.
Oh,
they,
that
they
acting.
ran a hell of a script. They lost the money, the man took it, they ain't in the homeless shelter. My mama did. Man, you just
And
wish
then when it got
Yeah.
dark, she like, okay, I'm gonna stop playing. We gotta get home now. It's getting late. I say 11 o'clock, your mother don't care where y'all at? "Well, she do, but since Trump cut the stamps, we ain't got no food, so she know I'll be out here hustling." I said, "Stop lying on your mother." So
And you know what?
she bust out laughing on me, man.
man, I'm gonna tell you, that might be a true story, man, because when I was 8,
Right,
when the stamps was plentiful, back in 88,
right.
I was out there hustling in the gas station on 116. The bus stop that's sitting in front of 116,
Right.
Sunoco, is still there. My mama used
Yeah.
to sit in there pregnant with one of my, I can't even remember which one of the symbols at that time because she was having so many, waiting for me to hustle the money up so she could get the money, go back to the house, and get high.
And
So
you
the
8.
and I'm 8 years old.
Yeah.
And when she wasn't there, and I would make the money, I would go get the food and bring it back to the house versus the money. And she would whoop my ass. "Why did you bring this food back to this house and not that motherfucking money, her and my stuff out?" So, you know, the mama, I mean, they just more advanced now.
So that's interesting. But I want to make a correlation, right, with like our young folks, the relationship with their parents, whatever that look like, traumatic experiences that they suffer from or endure with, right? How does that play a role, right, within the criminal justice system? And I ain't trying to justify that what I did What I did. But I think I think when you think about like crime, it's two different like modalities that you function through. Like, it's what you did. Some folks focus on what you did. Law enforcement, you know,
Right.
prosecutors, what you did. And then I think why you did it is more of a medical model, trauma,
Right.
abuse type of things, right?
Right.
That might not stop you from going to jail, but at least it unpack like how this little cute baby boy, by the time, he at 80 doing this, and at 12 he doing this, and he in DYS.
Right.
Right, because we all directly impacted. So I just want to pivot, right? We was talking about the vote. I want to get back to that, but I also want to pivot, right? Because, it's also a narrative that because we directly impacted in some way, we like sympathetic to like crime.
Crime, right.
Right, and I think that hurt us, right, across the board because people that create policy and legislation, I think the reason why collateral sanctions, right, and a lot of people who don't know what collateral sanctions is, some permanent restrictions and barriers that we face for the rest of our lives once we
Out of prison.
catch a felony.
catch a felony,
It happens
yeah.
after we done paid our fines, fees, got off probation, parole, and it's
still
just
held to it.
permanent punishment, right? I think that because, and help me, D, because we done had this conversation before, but it's like, I ain't gonna say I'm tough on crime. I used to say I was tough on crime.
Right.
Because I've been home 26 years without incident, which means that shit, I think I'm tough on crime. If I ain't committed no crime, and I ain't been living sweet, all these years. But I think people prejudge people with criminal backgrounds as if if a crime done, like we okay with it.
Well, that's one thing I said to some people. We were speaking at, I think, Warrensville School, and I was saying that, all these guys was wrongfully convicted. I said, but I've been in the streets, you know what I'm saying? And even when I was in the streets, I ain't for anarchy. I believe in law and order.
Okay.
So if I get caught, I gotta take my medicine. I just don't want nobody lie on me. You know what I'm saying? I went down, my son called me down to the justice center. Dad, this police officer down here, man, 2 of my sons got caught. One of them had a gun that was his. He didn't say it was his until they got down to the station. He told me it's mine, it's not his. Once they ran his name, they wanted him to have a felony because of who he is. So when we get down, he called me down there. I said, well, what's going on, Dad? What's going on? He said, Dad, they ain't trying to throw my case out. I said, why not? It ain't your gun. So the lawyer's like, because not. I said, I don't talk to you no more. Y'all go get the prosecutor. So the prosecutor came from out of the back. She said, I understand both of these are your sons. I said, yeah. And I said, so why do you still have him charged with a weapon and he just told you it's his? It's one gun. It's his gun. He told you it's his. Well, I tried to get it thrown out, but the detective went to the judge and said that your son's responsible. I said, that ain't got nothing to do with it. Right now, it's not his. So y'all making backdoor deals. So the detective got mad. I said, hold on, who was he? My son said, that's the detective, keep sweating me, Dad. So, I flipped on him. I said, hey, man, I don't want to talk to you. I said, listen, you need to go get these charges dropped. So he said something else to me. Before I know it, I done flipped out on him and told him I smacked the shit out of him.
Right.
So I don't respect you. I said, you want me to put a gun on you that ain't yours? I said, I ain't for anarchy. If you catch him right, you got him, but you know it's not his. Would you want me to give you a gun charge that you know not yours?
And that's a trigger
So she
for you,
went
too.
back there and she got the charges dropped. So the Montez like, you handled them, Dad. I said, hey, when they catch you right, they gonna fuck you up. I'm telling you. So we walking downstairs, we see the detective, got his chest all poked out, walking. I said, man, come here, man. Put your chest down, man. I said, I meant what I said. You can't whoop me. You've been fighting white boys. I said, but I'm serious, though, man. Would you want me to put a gun on you that's not yours? I wouldn't. I said, okay, then, catch him right. And ain't nothing you can say. Don't lie on him. I said, yeah, that's what you want me to do your son like this? No, I wouldn't. I said, okay, am I right? He's like, yeah. I said, shake my hand, shake. I snatched into him. I said, I still think I can beat you, for real.
And it's so many parents that don't have that type of knowledge and education.
Right, it is.
I think you're missing the spot, though.
Come on.
So Will just said when you was how old off the story you told?
I was
you said
8.
you was 8, right? And you was about to touch on the aces a little bit. But you backed up.
Well, go ahead. That was you to jump in.
Yeah, I think the thing is to help the people understand that the things that you picked up as an 8-year-old manifested in your life today.
Absolutely.
So how do you connect that? Like, how do you connect the 8-year-old Billiam to the, how old is you?
I'm 45.
Right. How do you connect that?
Well, I mean, you know, me and Fred talked about this through the years, man. 26 years, you know, to be exact. He didn't see me from the trauma little boy fighting through it all the way up until now. But the way you connect that 8-year-old little boy that was out hustling to survive, to feed his family at 8, that's a lot of pressure on me.
Right.
So, as of now, it translates over right now to a lot of pressure being added to me, and that's the only way I can function. Even if and that's the way I feel comfortable in survival mode. Reaching to pay this bill, robbing Peter to pay Paul, hustling, stealing. You know what I mean? This hustling in the mad state of cooking.
You're not stealing in an illegal way.
Yeah, not in an illegal way.
But just, I'm not going to pay that card note till it's 29 days due because I'm going to pay this other bill.
Right.
Right. That type of excitement, like, you know, that's just the way of life.
So it's excitement in the chaos for you.
Yes, and it keeps me going, in a sense. And not having a proper love for my mama got me spread it thin, and I'm going and I'm loving the wrong females, and I'm attracted to the wrong thing in that sense too. So it kind of keep me in a corner.
It's deep.
I'm not really locking it down or seeing the real vision or getting the real love from
That's deep. That's how it is.
That's real.
that I need to
That's
connect
real.
with, so I can get out of survival mode or accelerate or be in a comfortable position where I know that I'm loved. And sometimes my love attached to the wrong people, man.
Yeah, that's uncut. That's uncut for you right there.
Situation. You know what I
It's
mean?
definitely uncut.
Oh, that's heavy.
That's heavy. No, that's right. That's deep water.
That's
Yeah.
And it applied to a lot of us,
How
man.
deep we
Yeah.
going on this podcast?
Yeah, we go deep. You know, we raw and real.
Deeper than the last.
Deeper than that. We raw and real, man.
So let me
No.
ask you one more question then, Will. How that 8-year-old still showing up in your life right now? And then on top of that,
You gonna call me later?
what do you do when you do feel peace?
Okay.
If you feel it at all? Or is that 8-year-old always blowing your peace up?
Man, that 8-year-old always blowing my piece up, man. And I'm gonna tell you this. My piece is chaos. From
Aces.
the 8-year-old boy.
Amazing.
Right.
Because, when shit started to be normal to me, the 8-year-old boy
Blew it
in
up.
me always find a way to fuck it up.
No,
So
that's
I'm
heavy.
gonna give you an example, right? I got everything. I was married. I got out the streets. I went to culinary school, got a degree. I was working at the Ritz-Carlton. Okay? Had a good job. I won 5-star chef year of the war. I did that because I had my mindset and I was clear on what I needed to do, and I wasn't in survival mode. All I did was work. And then something happened.
And you wasn't in Cleveland either, was
I
you?
wasn't in Cleveland. I was in Phoenix, Arizona, working at the Ritz-Carlton in Scottsdale. Something happened. The trigger. Within my ex-wife, she told me I was working too much. Because I took that energy that I had from the streets, I applied it to the restaurant, into the Ritz-Carlton.
Right.
That's why I went there and I won that award, because I applied my hustle to that. And I did good.
Transferable skills.
So when she said that I was working too much, that triggered me. She said, "Oh, you ain't in the house. You working too much now, but I'm safe. Oh, you ain't in the house. You working too much right now, but you know where I'm at. I'm in the house. You working too much. It ain't enough money." So when she started to feed that to me, that year little boy said, "Man, you know what? Fuck her and fuck this job."
So let me see. So that, her saying that, was the same as your mama saying, "Why did you bring this food home instead of that money?"
It was
Right.
a trigger.
Right. It triggered
right
you.
back
Right
to
then
that.
and there. And I said, "You know what?
Ooh.
Yeah,
left
that's deep.
I left there, went right back to the streets and
Came
dropped
back
it for
home.
dimes.
Yeah,
Said, fuck all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I went to the feds.
But was you aware of the triggers when the triggers was happening to you? Like we can have
the
triggers
thing.
connected to us that we unaware of.
I was unaware of it.
Right.
I just, when she said that to me, it did something to me. Like, I was doing all this work for nothing. Like, I got out the streets. I went to school, went back to school and got a culinary degree. And you tell me I'm working too much, that I need to not work as hard or not work as much so I can be at home for you? Like, that did something to me. I thought I was doing everything you asked me to do. I got out the streets, which is a hard thing to do. It's very hard. And a lot of people ask me, man, well, was you addicted to the streets or the money? I was addicted to the hustle. That's what kept me there. It was the fast-paced hustle. So I found something to counterbalance that within the rest of my business, and it was fast-paced. It was like, boom, all right, yeah, we got 200 plates. All right, get these plates. I'm getting the money. So I was doing about 15 hours a day. But it fed that hunger of the 8-year-old little boy.
Yeah, no,
And it's
true.
still there.
So
But I just transfer in different ways now that I've been going through ACE classes.
So you're
now
aware
that
of
I've
it.
been through
Yeah, aware of
counseling
it
and
now.
all that stuff. Now I'm aware of the triggers. So I, once I get the trigger, I just adapt and move. Okay, nah, you know what? I'll find something else to do. Keep busy. Or, just stay away from things that trigger me. And then, the things that trigger me be females. Females that don't understand me trigger me.
Right. Real
'Cause they
talk.
don't know where I come from.
Real talk.
So I have to, be very meticulous on who that I share my energy with and who I share my time with. That's why I'm single now.
I think I appreciate you sharing that, but I think that it's very important for males and females to know like aces, right? I've always felt like everybody I talk to, I try to share with them like what adverse childhood experiences,
Yes.
right? Score yourself and cause when I found out about aces and found out
You
I was a
told me
9 out
about
of
it.
10, I tell everybody. I'm like, man, cause it allow you to see like how you was conditioned off the path or off track. Like, man, I was, my traumatic experience had me thinking like two things. One, that if you do something wrong, you must be punished. And that money is the source of happiness. Now imagine that. Imagine me coming off the porch with
Got
two
in your head.
overarching things that if you make a mistake, you must be punished.
Oh,
No exceptions. Some things more punishable than others. And money is the source of happiness.
Imagine that.
And I'm the man child, the youngest of two, and my mama abjectly poor.
Right.
And I want to make her happy.
So you go get the money, and if somebody mess around and do the wrong thing, they get punished.
Got you.
For sure.
And it ain't even me that's doing it.
Right.
It ain't even me.
Right.
Since you opened it, break down the correlation between the punishment you received, because I know the story. You
Right.
introduced me to the aces as well.
Right.
And the punishment you vetted out,
Oh, yeah.
the correlation of how that.
Oh, it was simple. When I was about, I got whoopings from as early as I can believe. Like, I remember, in elementary school, middle school too, going to gym, forgetting I got that whooping the night before with all them webs still all on my body.
On your body, on your
And,
back.
and
Your
when
figure
I
eight.
get ready to take my clothes off, and I'm like, damn, I got all these webs. Oh, I forgot my gym trunks.
Yeah.
Lying.
Yeah.
Because I can't take these clothes
Yeah,
off.
that figure eight.
Not
Man.
with this, right? But one of the most interesting experiences I had, my sister, she can't talk about it without crying. And when I was about 10 years old, because I used to run through the house, go in the closet, get under the bed, hold the bed. I'm Ninja Turtle in them whoopings, right? You know what I'm saying? And my mama, she was
Man,
athletic
what?
too, so she rocking, right? My
Right.
father
Yeah.
died. I'm running down the street. I remember one time I made the wrong move and ran down the steps, went in the street. My mama chasing me down the street with belt in hand. My kid, my homies out there watching, playing basketball. I'm running down
Getting
the
it.
street, hitting trees. She like one step behind me. She fast too. I could feel the belt like shivering across my back. Wow, right?
You
But
doing
look,
the arching up and everything.
listen to
trying
me,
get with
man.
that joint.
I ain't gonna lie to you, man, but it's deep. Because when I was 10, so this one time, she said, I'm tired of wrestling with you. She tied me to a chair.
Right.
I'm 10
All
years
this
old.
money.
She tied me to a chair. My sister scared to death of my mom. So she looking through the other room. Her baby brother tied to a chair at 10 years old. I'm talking hands and feet. And she whooping me. And the chair fall over. I can't get out the chair, right? Boom. My sister crying. She like, And like, I'm thinking that I got tied to a chair because I grabbed the belt, hide in the closet and all that. I never once questioned that this is absolutely wrong, tying a 10-year-old to a chair. So when I got 15 and Johnny Boy done smoked too many of them rocks and it's short, oh, Johnny, I ain't mad at you, man. But I got to tie you up. And I got to whoop on you. I got to whoop on you for a little bit because you're short.
Right.
So look, I'm 15, 14 years old. I done tied a grown man up. I'm whooping him. Tied up in a chair, whooping him. I'm hungry, so I done went to the store. I go to the store, give me something to eat. I'm gonna come back, whoop you a little more, then I'm gonna let you go, right? I'm thinking this is normal. My dudes get back to the house for me. They done let the dude go and say, man, G crazy. They say, man, we come in this house, this is a grown man sitting in the house tied to a chair, naked, talking about you been whooping on him. They let him loose, he run out the house, and they looking at me like I'm crazy. And look, I never questioned. I'm mad they done let him go.
Cause you wasn't done whooping.
No, because just like I wasn't done getting whooped, he wasn't done getting whooped, right? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But watch this though, and I still didn't know that I was wrong. I'm thinking they tripping out. So my dysfunctionalism, the streets start labeling it gangsterism.
Yeah.
'Cause they're like, man, G'll tie you up, man. G'll get real greasy on you, man, if you play with that paper.
Yeah.
I'm in the penitentiary, in an anger management class, in the hot seat. And I'm talking, dude was Dr. Spindler. You know Spindler? Spindler. I'm in the hot seat and I'm talking. I'm like, yeah, and I seen you like I tied your chair, and I got whooped this and that. And you ever said something where people look at you and it make you think what you said? Man, I never questioned getting tied to a chair at 10 years old was anything but my fault. And when I got to looking at him, and then Spindler was like, wow, Fred Boom, tell me more. And that was the first day I realized that something had happened to me that was totally, you understand, wrong, that was very traumatic, that I had never questioned. I lived my reality, created my philosophies and how to and why for off of that.
And when it should be done.
And even though you my dude, I love you to death, I can't stop this from happening to you.
It gotta happen.
Rules are the rules. You hear me? Man, I'm nutty as a fruitcake.
Right.
And didn't even know it. You hear me? And we out here like that.
Yeah.
We out here like that, man.
For sure.
Man, I told a dude argued me one day. I said, man, I wasn't no gangster, man. I was dysfunctional. He said, no, G, you was a gangster, man. I said, man, I was dysfunctional. He said, no, you was a gangster, G. I'm arguing with a dude telling him I wasn't doing gangster shit. He telling me, oh, no, you weren't. And I'm like, man, and it took us hours for me to let him realize that I was functioning off of the trauma that was bestowed on me by somebody who I love more than anybody.
And thought they was doing the right
You
thing.
hear me? I was in that was the first time I ever, when I questioned that in that hot seat, in the joint, I'm in the joint. I said, damn, if I ain't question this, what else do I believe in my mind that I ain't never questioned? I had to sit, they talking about why I'm giving everybody else books. I'm giving y'all books because I know y'all might be as nutty as I would. So I'm like, I'm passing out books left and right. Man, read this book. Read this book, because, man, what I done figured out about me, shit, I got to help you figure it out about you. I got it. On God.
Real talk.
On God, man. You know? Yeah, man. Heavy.
Yeah.
We got to
thank you.
get this to, we gotta have these conversations, and we gotta create a space safe enough for hardcore ass brothers, our testosterone, men don't cry, all this bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
And we were still going through it because when we tied Boo Slick
In the joint. Whoa. Didn't we? We didn't.
We tied him to the chair.
Did we not? I tied him up in the joint, didn't I? I forgot about that. I be forgetting some stuff. I do be forgetting.
You told me about that,
I sure did.
You told me about that, man.
Well, you know, change happens not overnight. Change don't happen overnight. You know? Hey.
You still waking up.
Man, right?
And then woke up and then passed another book out.
Hey, my transformation was a process. Oh, that was something, man. No, so man, we just gotta have more conversation. Like, I really enjoy this conversation.
Yeah.
Right, and I think like we ain't scripted. Everybody, you know what I'm saying, is standing on their principles. I'm honored to be in the space with y'all, man. But I think that we gotta continue to have these conversations and others.
Right.
Right, we gotta figure out why we don't feel like voting is a strategy.
Yeah, it's a hell of a
We don't
strategy.
like these laws and these policies, right?
Did I read something about Marcus Garvey where they kicked him out of the country because he got all the people to vote for the way he wanted them to vote?
Kicked him out first thing smoking.
Yeah, man.
You know?
Build too much power.
Building too much power.
Yeah.
Build too much power.
Yeah. Well, you know, yeah.
I think it's a heavy piece when we talk about credible messengers.
Mhm.
Yes.
Right? They pigeonhole that to the violence interruption and violence intervention space.
Okay.
But for brothers to understand the sicknesses that we dealing with,
Yeah.
we dealing with some sicknesses.
Yeah.
For us to truly understand it, it got to be credible messengers. Like
Yeah.
sitting there hearing Mont say what he said, sitting there with the brother, sitting there William and sitting there hearing Fred say what you just said.
Yeah.
Think about how many brothers that can help.
Yeah.
Right.
If we truly talking about
Get past them traumas
Yep.
and
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
That's
damn,
just-
Fred
yeah.
can see and you can correlate.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You had a brother crying when you told that story.
Yeah, I remember.
You took us to the
OG.
You had-
OG was
yeah,
crying.
You had a brother crying behind
Yeah.
that.
No,
but
because
the
he
thing-
got the Invisalign his own.
the thing
Yeah,
was you
he seen
introduce-
himself in it.
You introduce a person to their trauma.
Right.
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 And traditionally, after we introduce people to their trauma, we have no vehicle to catch
Yep.
them.
Yep.
So it's like, look, this is why you doing what you're doing. Now go back to your
Yep,
house.
we gotta hold
You know what I
it.
mean? This is
Yep.
why you did what you did. Now
Right.
go back home.
Right.
So now I'm sitting there and I understand that I'm fucked up. But I got to go to work tomorrow.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I still can't deal with it.
Yep.
So I
Bury it
can't
again.
Bury it. And as we seen with
Bury
the
it.
brother, it comes back out.
Yep.
You
Yep.
know,
We
wherever
got-
you go, there you are. You take yourself with you.
Yeah. We gotta
And
do
if you
deep
don't
healing.
deal with them things you
Yeah.
need to deal with.
Yeah.
Imagine if you wouldn't have dealt with that. You would still be tying shit to chairs.
Yeah, brother, too.
You would still
Yeah.
be gangster shit, but
They probably doing life without
There go
parole.
mama right
Yeah,
there.
I know, right?
Talking
Whooper.
talking-
She look like she want to whoop something now. She look like she want to whoop something now.
She done felt
Yeah.
She done felt so. You talking about
Yeah.
It triggered me, yo. No, I ain't getting tired no more, mama. I'm in
You
now.
gotta create spaces
Bless
for
her
brothers
heart.
and sisters to do something
Yeah.
with this trauma.
It's our
Something happen.
responsibility.
Yeah.
If not, we just hope we waking people up
It's
and
our-
telling
yeah.
them, you know,
Yeah.
go and send
No,
them
that's
forward.
real.
We
And-
gotta
yeah.
create spaces for this, man.
And in the organizing work, man, I'm gonna tell you, like, it was a challenge even organizing because, you know, Building Freedom Ohio is connected to like OOC, a larger group, right? And like it's designed to build power, right? The organization is designed to build like power to unleash people relationally in the world to change the world as they see fit. But I'm meeting people and I'm like, man, you know, we can't prostitute their story,
Right.
right? And we can't just send them to the state house and tell their story so we can change the mindset of a legislator when they like, man, I ain't got no food. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no car, I ain't got no
Yeah,
house.
all
You know,
these
I
other
couldn't do it in
things.
good
Yeah,
conscience.
right.
So I'm like, man, I can't do one or the other. I got to do both. And like, so we be vibing and we be trying to like get to some like, you know, who we gonna vote for and this and that, and people come out with some trauma. We got to have a space for that because we opening it up. You know, cause when a person is we talk about power in this romantic way, but it's a lot of people who ain't never had no power.
Right.
And when they hear power, they think about power over them. You know what I'm saying? A mother, a father over them, a teacher over them, a boss over them. You know, abuse, where they lose their voice. They don't actually know how to like have a conversation because it ain't never sided. Like people in power talk to other people in power. So if you think you're a kid or a youth and you don't have power in your house, then you're gonna get smashed down. And then you wonder why they go find another family out in the streets.
Right.
So it's a lot of different components to how we create, this healing space for us. But I think we're gonna use this podcast to start. You know what I'm saying? Like this one episode, it resonated for me. I'm gonna tell you that. I got to talk about that tied to that chair. I got a little watery. I said, shit, I started reflecting back. That's the time I'm probably still dealing with.
Yeah.
But man, I love y'all brothers, man. No homo. You know what I'm saying? I'm comfortable saying it because it's true. Yep. You know what I'm saying? And I'm honored to be in the space with y'all. Come back, invite somebody else, give us some subject matters to talk about that's relevant to the people that we trying to reach. This Fred Ward, man, checking out on this Count Time podcast. And this more than Ohio thing, too. Yeah.